Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome back to my channel. We all said we're gonna read much more in this new year. Reading more may imply that we need to get more books into our house. If you love reading but you don't love how empty your bank is gonna be like, this video is absolutely for you. Today I will share some tips I have learned over the years to read in a budget but still you can enjoy some amazing stories. These tips you don't have to do so much, it is not something that is hard to do. Maybe there are some advice that you have come across before but never really considered them. So without further ado, shall we dive into all these amazing tips? But before diving into all these tips, I think the most important point here is that you need to think about what you need to buy. I know it is just so tempting to just buy every book we want to read, or maybe sometimes it's a special one. Let's say you want to have a signed copy from your favorite author or even a special edition. Or maybe sometimes it's the good old FOMO. You saw the book that you want to get sold out quickly, and then you search from the private seller and they are selling for a crazy amount of money. But I believe if you click into this video, you are like me. We are working with a very limited budget, or maybe we try to cut costs to live a better life. I think the point here is to think carefully and thoroughly about what you want to buy. I know it is difficult, but it is the fact. Even with the tips I am going to talk about, yes, they can save you some money, but if you're going to buy too much, it will still cost you. So here we just need to remember, the most important lesson you need to take home with is about your mentality. So now we can move on to talk about the very first tip, and it is a place you definitely heard of. It is to utilize your local library. Library is possibly the most accessible way to save money because we are borrowing books. Library is like the ultimate book lover's hack. From my experience, most of the local libraries will got an excellent selection of books. In mine, I can even find some new exciting fantasy books, which is such a good news. They may also offer digital content like audiobooks or ebooks through apps like Libby. It means that you can read on your phone, on your tablet, on an e-reader with the free library content. Compared to physical books, my library got less digital content, which is a bit unfortunate. And sometimes you may need to wait, especially with all those really popular books, until someone returns the books first. But still, it is completely free after you register with your local library. With the digital content, you don't even have to leave your house. I highly recommend this tip. The next tip I have is for those of you who enjoy a physical book. I used to buy used books and I think it is such a good way to save money. You can find cheap books in like thrift store or charity shops, but in there you may not easily find those books that are on the TBR. It is more like a treasure hunt to see if they got what you need. If you prefer doing it at home, you can just simply check out online marketplaces like eBay or Vinted. They are usually quite affordable. When I still bought paperbacks, they are usually around £3, which is significantly less than a new copy. Sometimes you may even find private sellers parting with their special editions with a surprising low price. So it is again like a treasure hunt. Count yourself lucky when you find this kind of deal. Of course, here you need to remember the books that you are getting is a used one. From private seller, you can easily contact them to see if there's any things, any problem, any like marks over here and there to see if you really want one. But if you are ordering from like a bigger company, it is honestly more like a lucky draw because you will never know what's the condition of the book gonna be like. But I mean, it is still a very good way to reduce your spending with books and give those used books another life. After physical books, I have a tip for those of you who enjoy an audiobook. This one is a bit tricky because we are utilizing every resources we have. It is kind of like you can listen to audiobook for free if you have a Spotify premium account. Spotify now has a range of audiobook included with your premium account. I had a look earlier and I think that selection is quite nice. But with Spotify, you have a limited streaming time, and I believe it is around 15 hours. So you need to be careful which books you're gonna listen to. And if you're like me paying for the dual plan, only the account manager can enjoy this benefit, which I kind of understand, but still I am a bit disappointed. It means that if you are not the account manager, you can't listen to any audiobook at all. You need to pay for it separately. Never mind, we still have other audiobook subscription out there. I had a look earlier. Of course, we're gonna have Audible and then BookBeat and also Everend. I think Audible possibly got the best selection because they have every book. With other subscription, you may want to check if they got the titles you are interested first before paying for them, otherwise you will be disappointed. Here is a little tip. Most of these subscriptions will offer a 30-day free trial. If you are like me, quite new to audiobook and don't really know what the experience is going to be like, someone like whispering to your ear, I think it is better for you to check out the free trial first before really paying for it. Or even after the free trial, don't pay for it. Jump to another company, jump to another subscription that offers a free trial until you are running out of options to save money. Don't tell anyone about it because I do feel bad. I am not promoting any illegal activities here and I am not responsible for anything. Okay? If you search the book you want to read and type audiobook after it, let's say Harry Potter Book 1 audiobook on YouTube, you would find some resources. Which I am not too sure, is it legal or illegal or why do people upload them here? But it is still a way to see if you like audiobook or not. If you like it, keep listening to it, or maybe later just pay for a subscription, pay for the audiobook itself. I'm not promoting anything illegal here. If we have a tip for audiobook, of course we're gonna have one for ebooks, especially if you have an e-reader like Kindle or Kobo. You can simply join their monthly subscription and enjoy as many books as you can. Just make sure you are reading enough books to make it worth the cost. If you don't want a commitment like a subscription, from time to time you can easily find some deals on this kind of platforms, meaning that you are getting books with a cheaper price. On there, you can even find books as cheap as £1, which is even cheaper than a used book. Of course, they are not going to be like the most popular book or the new release, but I believe there will be some hidden gem in there. The next tip I have is quite different because it is not something that I have done before. If you have joined any Facebook groups about books, you will have noticed they are not just for selling but also for swap. I haven't tried out this tip yet, but I think it is such an interesting idea, especially if you have just recently unwholesome books. You can simply post them up there and see if you can swap another books that you are more interested in. There could be some local groups which can allow you to swap the books physically, face to face. If not, you may need to post the books. Here you need to be careful and be smart. Make sure you are swapping with the right person and that person really got the books you want. If not on Facebook groups, there could be other channels like Discord or maybe on Reddit as well. After talking about ways to find cheaper books, now I think it is the time to go back and visit our local shops. In here, I can come up with 2 ways to cut the cost. The first one is quite an obvious one, to wait for any deals. In the UK, we have Waterstones as the major book retailer. Usually they would do like a major deal around Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year or Black Friday, but unfortunately we have just celebrated them all. But I did observe sometimes, especially with the new release, they may do like a £3 off or maybe buy one get one half price, which you may want to keep an eye on them next time you visit Waterstones. If you are like me, got the Amazon Prime, which I believe most of us do because the next day delivery is just so handy. I find out that most of the time, even with the new released hardcover, they are just cheaper. I wouldn't say it is as crazy like a half price, but it is still cheaper in the physical shops. So I guess the way to save some money is to do a little comparison with different shops first. The second tip I have is about the loyalty card. I got the Waterstones one. It is like when you spend £10, you got a stamp. And then if you have collected 10 stamps, you can redeem a £10 voucher. You may already think it might be quite hard to achieve. It may take some time for you to reach this £10 voucher. But from time to time, Waterstones do like a double or even triple stamps event. If it is the double stamps event, it means that every £10 you spend, you're gonna got 2 stamps instead. It implies that you just need to spend half the normal to get the £10 voucher. With the triple stamps, it is even easier. So next time when you see Waterstones is doing a double stamps, don't miss out this chance. I think it is a good way to save money in the long run because of the vouchers you're gonna get. The last tip I have is kind of referring to what I said in the beginning, to think carefully about what books you need and ignore all the FOMO. I know it is just so tempting to get all of these book subscription boxes and not missing out any beautiful, fantastic, exciting titles. I was in the same position before. If you are struggling with a budget or catching up with all the books that you have received, it would be better to consider pausing or canceling some of them. If you have more than one book subscription, maybe keep 1 or 2 that truly add values to your reading experience. Or maybe you can have a look at their skip policy. Some of them can be quite generous because you just need to get 1 book in 9 months to keep your subscription. It means that if you see any titles that you are not too sure with, you can just simply skip them until you see the one that you're gonna like. I used to subscribe to Gospel GSFF, Enigma Crate and the Afterlight, Ada Fairy Loot, Lord Library, the Book and Binding, Fantasy and Sci-Fi subscription, as well as Inkstone. Now I only keep the Broken Binding Fantasy subscription and the Inkstone Quarterly one. They are the books that I really like and enjoy their titles. The rest, you can easily get a copy from the private seller at cost. Trust me, if you get rid of one, it is so easy to do the rest. These are all the tips I have on how to read with a budget. Let me know in the comment if you have any other money-saving book tips. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel Fantasy so you won't miss anything from me. I will see you all real soon. Goodbye.